Céad Míle Fáilte. Welcome to the Treasured Tales of Ireland, a place where you can listen to the many myths, legends, folk tales, and tales of the Emerald Isle, helping to keep the stories of the past alive. My name is Mylinda Butterworth, and I will be your teller of tales. I hope you join me each week for new stories. And if you enjoy my work, please like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Additionally, be sure to explore my other story collections for more tales. Before we begin, please note that if you are using the closed caption feature of this video, that many Irish names may not sound the way they appear, and we have made every effort to pronounce them correctly. Now, let's get started. Today we continue with the Book of the Fianna, Diarmuid, with the story of the birth of Diarmuid, part 1 of 12, episode 54. Diarmuid now was the son of Bon, son of Duvna of the Fianna, and his mother was Crocknet, that was near in blood to Finn. And at the time he was born, Bon was banished from the Fianna because of some quarrel they had with him, and Angus took the child from him to rear him up at Brúna. After that, a while, Crocknet bore another son to Rock-Grican, that was the head steward, to Angus Rock-Giachan, and went then to Don, and asked would he rear up his son for him, the way Angus had been rearing Don's son. But Don said he would not take the son of a common man into his house, and it would be best for Angus to take him. So Angus took the child into Brúna, and he and Diarmuid were reared up together. And one day Finn was on the great hill of Alvin of Leinster, and no one was with him but Don and a few of the poets and learned men of the Fianna, and their hounds and their dogs, and Bran Bag came in and asked did he remember there were bonds on him not to stop in Alvin for 10 nights together. Finn asked the people about him, then where would he go? And he entertained for that night, and Don said, I will bring you to the house of Angus, son of the Dagda, where my young son is being reared. So they went together into the house of Angus at Brúna, and the child Diarmuid was there. And it is a great love Angus had for him, and the steward's son was with him that night. And the people of the household made as much of him as Angus made of Diarmuid. And there was a great vexation on Don when he saw that. It chanced after a while a great fight rose between two of the Finn's hounds about some broken meat that was thrown to them. And the women and the common people of the place ran from them, and the others rose up to part from them one another. And in the running away, the steward's child ran between the knees of Don, and Don gave the child a strong squeeze between his 2 knees that killed him on the moment, and he threw him under the feet of the hounds. And when the steward came after that and found his son dead, he gave a long and very pitiful cry, and he said to Finn, There's not a man in the house tonight has suffered more than myself from this uproar, for I had but one son only, and he has been killed. And what satisfaction will I get from you for that, Finn? He said. Try you can find the mark of a tooth, or of a nail of one of the hounds on him, said Finn, and if you can, I will give you satisfaction for him. So they looked at the child, and there was no scratch or mark of a tooth on him at all. Then the steward put Finn under the destroying bonds of the Druid cave of Cruachan, to give him knowledge of who it was killed his son. And Finn asked for a chessboard and for water to be brought to him. And he searched, and it was shown to him truly that it was Don had killed the steward's son between his 2 knees. When Finn knew that, he said he would take the fine on himself, but the steward would not consent to that, but forced him to tell him who was it had done the wrong. And when he knew it was Dawn had killed the child, he said, "There is no man in the house it is easier to get satisfaction from than from him, for his own son is here, and I have but to put him between my two knees, and if I let him go from me safe, I will forgive the death of my son." Angus was vexed at what the steward said, and as to Dawn, he thought to strike his head off till Finn put him back from him. Then the steward came again, having a druid rod with him, and he struck his own son with the rod, and he made him of a wild boar, without bristle, or ear, or tail. And he said, "I put you under bonds to bring Diarmuid, grandson of Duvna, to his death, and your own life will be no longer than his life," he said. And with that, the wild boar rose up and ran out of the open door, and he was called afterwards the Boar of Slieve Gwylin, and it was by him Diarmuid came to his death at last. And when Diarmuid came to his full strength, he was given a place among the Fianna of Ireland, and all women loved him, and he did many great deeds, fighting with the enemies of the Fianna and of Ireland. And one time he fought a wild ox to the length of 7 days and 7 nights on the top of the Mountain of Happiness. And here is where I end my tale for today, but I'll be back with more tales, many more tales. Until then, my friends, enjoy the journey. Slán go fóill. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this story, please give us a thumbs up and comment. It truly helps us.